I think, was it against a Juggernaut? That's the only reason I could think about why they might have done it.
Um,
Remaining.
good question. Not sure.
Hmm.
It was against a face. It was against a Brood Void, and
I feel like the Void was picked into it, though.
yeah.
Dire
So
team
Omega opened up with a Brood, then South built went AAPA, I believe, and then the Void was
Oh.
answered.
I mean, that was just a bad draft then. Southport, they're going with the Hoodwink. So, lots more little scurrying going to be happening this game. Enables you to pick off the Tide Hunter a little easier, I
10
suppose, with the
seconds
break coming
remaining.
through from the Sharpshooter. Ton of damage that you're able to put into the Pugner as well, which is nice. I mean, it's all right, I suppose, for disrupting
Dire
attempts
team
that the
ban.
Tinies trying to make onto your
Monkey
team.
King.
They eventually do get the Monkey King for themselves against this Tide. I mean, it's fine. There's nothing amazing that I'm seeing so far here from Southfield, though.
No, they need
You know what would be
stuns.
cool? The acorn shot, and then the monkey jumps onto that tree just for that
10
little bit of extra
seconds
mobility that he
remaining.
might need in a team fight.
That
That'd
could
be
be
cool.
cute. Could be cute actually, and Timber as well.
5 seconds.
Maybe he needs a
remaining.
chain to get back to safety. Just calls the boy
Right.
to swing it over, place down that tree for you. They got the synergy, and then you got Snapfire that just gets rid of the trees.
Mm-hmm.
Can't
So what do we
anti-synergy.
need? We need the tree and protector. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, all in. What would give them some of the lockdown? That's because I think that's the big issue they have on Southfield.
Radiant
I'm worried
team
that
ban.
this Monkey King and also Hoodwink is just not gonna have their abilities be as impactful as what they're looking.
I mean, what the hell are they going to do to lock down? I mean, Ember Spirit's not that great against all this.
10 seconds remaining.
Have to be a
5
Void Spirit,
seconds
but
remaining.
even that's not a lot of damage.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried as well. With this a Pugner 2, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what do we feel is able to lane relatively decent versus the Pugner?
I mean, it might be, right? It could be a tiny that
Dire
Sanctity's
team
playing.
ban.
And they'll do like a Pugner 4,
Could-
perhaps.
Pugner 4 doesn't sound very fun.
No. For who? for the
Lilgun.
Pugner?
Yeah, for the Pugner. Yeah, that doesn't sound very good.
10 seconds
I would
remaining.
agree with that.
Radiant
They would have no way to
team
dive in
ban.
onto the Snapfire in particular. That's what I don't like about it. Then again, they don't really have that anyway, considering that, it might just be the position 1 left for Lilgun. So what's going to be good against this Monkey King? I wonder if we'll
10
see a
seconds
Spectre come out
remaining.
here.
That can't lane versus Timber. That would get destroyed.
5 seconds
It would,
remaining.
but I think we've seen these teams don't really care all that much about lanes, let's be real.
Yeah. I'd be a bit worried that though Southfield would ramp up the pressure. And if you like a Tide's not gonna be tempo controlling. And if it's a Tiny or 4 as well, then he really has to have a good lane. Otherwise he can't be as much of a tempo controlling Tiny as what you would usually see out of like a
Dire
position
team
2.
pick.
So what are you thinking? Like something that's able to deal with the Timber. I mean, Timber's going to want to get on top of you, right? So Luna, Gyro, they were probably fine with being
Radiant
ranged
team
into it,
pick.
so it's going to be fine.
Wind Ranger at your
Gonna go the Wind
service.
Ranger anyway, just kind of baiting out. Okay, you're going to Viper, maybe? Well, we're going to preemptively pick this Wind Ranger. I like it. And realistically, like what are the ranged cores that are left to be able to potentially deal with this? Like, you
10
got the
seconds
Terrorblade, you got the
remaining.
Drow, you got the Arc Warden. They're the big 3. And I
5
think all of them are
seconds
pretty
remaining.
garbage this game, to be real.
Can you Ricky?
I'm not a big fan.
Ember Spirit.
You may now select your heroes.
What?
All right,
Is
how
it
they
a tiny
doing this?
one? That doesn't seem very good versus
Timber?
that doesn't seem like a fun lane either.
Like I said, they don't care about lanes. They and it's a 4 Pugner. What did I tell you, Ares? I'm just in the mind of the Mongolians.
Hmm.
So you're going south build, are you?
I don't even like their draft as well. Like they don't enable the Monkey
Yeah.
King ulti and they don't have a hoodwink setup. But like,
I mean, they've got the Wind Ranger. Oh, look at that. They've got another thing that uses the tree. That's the plan.
we didn't. I see where we've gone wrong. I see.
Yeah.
It makes so
They're
much
just
more
one
sense
step
now.
ahead of us.
All right. Well, how are we feeling about this second draft here?
Purely because of the tree synergy, I'm going to go with South Built for their first win.
Let's go. I'm gonna double down as well. South Built, I believe in you. You can get your first game victory here against the
I'm
little
going to be really
raccoons.
disappointed, though, if we don't see an Acorn
Some
shot
cute
into
players,
a Timber
yeah.
Chain, or an Acorn shot into a Tree Dance, or an Acorn shot into a Shackle shot. Hell, they might even get lucky and get an Ironwood Tree, And then we'll see, some tree plays all throughout. But, it's important for Southport to get a win on the board, of course, for morale. But in terms of the context of this league, it is very important that Lilgun do get this 2-0 victory, because they're not out mathematically by any stretch, but they still have a chance of being able to move up if they, have their
Prepare for
undefeated
battle.
run, which they've got this series against Southbuilt, and then they've only got 2 series left against Neon and Galaxy Racer. So good luck getting too many games against teams of that caliber.
Yeah, well, maybe building a little bit of momentum in this series. Who knows what could entail for them. I'm really, really intrigued to see how this game fares, because a tiny one against the Timberlane doesn't seem great. But then, like, again, like I look at both drafts, and I'm not personally a fan of like either draft, but
Yeah, I would agree.
so now I'm just like, what the heck's gonna happen?
To battle.
Now, what do you reckon he's doing here on a buy? Just on his little courier, next to some tier 2 towers, next to the high ground. I mean, towers don't hit you, so you could go for a cheeky play into the Radiant base, try and snipe one of the couriers now that they're sitting out, trying to get that max efficiency by being a couple of seconds there sooner. He's gonna do it. He's doing it. I called it.
So
Let's
who's
go.
you get? The
You got
Embers?
the Pugners.
The battle begins.
Okay.
That's one.
Has been
Ember?
Are they gonna move it quickly enough? Tide, no, don't move yours closer, Tide.
I like I like the Grimstroke play. He moved the courier back out to bait.
Oh, the Tides was already coming, and it had the regen on it, so it was moving slower. That would have been a huge kill if they were able to get it onto him as well.
Did they get 2 bounties? They did. Okay. 2 bounties and a courier snipe and an observer ward. Okay.
That prediction's looking strong.
Well, a bot. Maybe it's not looking
He's
strong.
already I mean, yeah. What are you supposed to do against this lane
Radiant's
lineup?
courier
You're
has
able to
been
dish
killed.
out a lot of harass as this Pugner. That is the bonus. But and honestly, as a hoodwink, very low right click damage. So it's not like you're even able to trade well against the Pugner, who that's probably his biggest weakness, plus his HP.
Yeah, so it does seem like the Pugner harassment is going to be a bit of a difficult time for them. But what about actually Ace 12? That is what's going on? I really didn't think the Timber was going to die.
I think that's a situation where he doesn't have the Timber Chain. He has the Whirling Death leveled up at level 1.
Well, I was going to come down here next and be like, just missing kills left, right, and center. Zenki. He's going to get a solo on Hishki. What a start to the lanes we've got. Well, so we do have Bob on a bit of a different hero here for the Wind Ranger versus the Ember. How do you feel like this lane is going to entail?
I mean, it's just going to all come down to mechanics, man. All these weird kills happening in odd places. Now that he's got... Well, he didn't even have the Timber Chain at that time. That was purely just with a Whirling Death and the little Shredder. What is happening this game?
I know I haven't caught a kill, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Very
I can't blame you.
uncharacteristic.
They're all happening in places that I'm like, this probably shouldn't be happening.
We on the ball this time. We ain't missing no kills. I hope.
He was getting low again.
Yeah, I'm watching.
Yeah, all right, you're there.
My eyes on it. No chance I ain't catching this one. 1, 2, 3. Tree?
He doesn't have much HP, and that armor, I mean, he's at least got the ring of protection. He kind of realized that this was going to be happening in the lane.
Man. Ace is being so annoying. And Enryu's completely out of tangos as well. Is very, very close to hitting level 3 with that extra point of reactive armor, but...
Oh. You hate to see it, just a gigantic tree flying at your face. Even Zenki going and sniping away the bounty rune is going to be nice, and well, that ends up costing Enryu his life. It's not the performance that you would like to see from a Timber in what you would think is a pretty damn good lane for him.
Radiant structures are fortified.
Even be going on to Samael.
Yeah, things well stunned, combo. They've only got the toss at the moment. But with the damage from the tree, they need one more right click into the tree throw. It's not enough. Honestly, like, now once they get levels from Radiant, their magic damage is really through the roof. But, like, I really don't think this lane should have gone as bad as it did. But now that Enryu's died a couple of times, it feels like it doesn't get much easier.
No, and he still doesn't have the Timber Chain, which I'm like, well, why? You would completely avoid this gank attempt if you had it. You're already back down to a quarter of your HP pool. At least he's got the infused raindrops to be able to tank that up, but the reactive armor is going to make him fine. But I just don't feel like you should be in a position to let that kind of thing happen.
I steal from the slow. Pin!
Oh,
You have been
meanwhile
denied.
up top as well. Abart's having a very good time CS-wise, 25 and 5. So is Marvel, so it's definitely not like the Tide is not getting anything out of this lane, and which is a nice showing at least, because you're up against quite the lane dominating hero versus someone like the Tide.
Yeah, for sure. And speaking of the Tide, he's trying to make a little bit of a harassment play happen onto Zenki here by using that Acorn shot. Actually reveals himself for a split second, which means that went to go for the gush rather. Might cost him his life though.
But didn't use the Boundless with the Jingu stacks, but he's still got boots and Orb of Venom. He's even just gonna do it the old-fashioned way with the right clicks, not wanting to waste any mana, even though he's up to full. Bob!
Oh, nice,
what
Bob.
a play. Very, very cute. He saw that Remnant just come through, and it's so often we see Embers, once you hit that level 6, you try and use a lot of your mana, maybe brawl just beforehand, get an advantage where you're able to go back to base, get a refill, maybe an item as well. So, and just great awareness, honestly. That power shot to scout, gets a shackle. Really cute play from Bob.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's a mid player, right? He knows exactly what an Ember's going to be doing at all stages of the game. So, with that, another kill onto Enryu. I mean, at least he has the Timber Chain this time, but should not be happening. This is a winning lane for you.
I mean, what's going on? Tiny's only got 17 last hits, but he has been a part of 3 big kills on Enryu, and
Visibility!
you're loving life here for the Lilgun safe lane. He's got Cloak now with Raindrop, so
You're feeling a lot safer now.
yeah.
Like you mentioned, there's not a ton of farm right now on 1, 2, 3. That's the downside. Even with that, the downside is all of the actual kills have gone to Ace. It's only assists that 1, 2, 3 is going.
Unorthodox, but effective.
Uh-oh, Samael. He's gonna get caught out here. Try and get a return kill with Enryu.
Dire's middle tower
Got the Timber Chain, Whirling Death, and one more right click. Gets some revenge.
And he gets the streak as well. So actually, even though with 3 deaths in the laning phase, he is sitting pretty. He's sitting above all of the Radiant cores.
That's the strat, isn't it, Danog? You just feed away your life a couple times, get them on a streak, and
Mm-hmm.
and
Dire's middle tower
the bait,
is under attack.
it's been strong.
You can see here just that little bit of difference. They're going in deep already. Hishki realizes, right, I'm the Pugna. I can do a lot of damage here. Just need to stick with my team. Oh, getting very low with that nether.
What?
Oh, is he going to use more?
Thanks, guys.
Bob,
Thanks a lot.
miss. He didn't miss.
If you were still alive,
I am actually speechless. That power shot from Bob, the timing on the Remnant, Cookie Sun as well from another power shot.
2 for 1.
Yoink.
Dire's
Bob
middle
is
tower
just
under attack.
turning it up. The early game in both game 1 and game 2, and I mean, I know we're still in the lanes right now. Meanwhile, a solo killed down bot from Tiny, so that's actually the play. He feeds the lane, gets a couple kills, he gets all the gold, and now he's second in net worth. And guess who's on the bottom of the cause? It's the Tiny.
It's the Tiny, and guess who's got a javelin picked up already at the 8-minute mark? Bob. Very nicely with the boots. He's trying to make a play happen already here. Might be a little bit risky considering getting
Okay.
chain stunned.
Bob, I was singing your praises. I was singing your praises. I was saying just how much of a player you are.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
Oh
You can make
no.
that rotation. You talk about the Tiny being a little bit low on the net worth, but if you make that kind of
Radiant's bottom
rotation
tower is
and
under
you're
attack.
able to kill off the enemy core,
Radiant
it's going to go a
structures
big
are
way in
fortified.
your favor again. Now Sanctity is going to push the wave in. You know that they don't have a TP scroll onto this Wind Ranger, so someone's got to get to this mid lane or they're going to end up either losing some tower damage or at the very least some valuable experience. But both towers being pressured right now. Nice move coming through from Lilgun.
It's not
Didn't
even
cancel the
bedtime.
TP from Marvel. But it looks like 1, 2, 3 now. Very
What are you doing? You're
aggressive.
still
here.
typing?
He thought he could get the kill and then disengage, but oh, Enryu's gonna claim that. Meanwhile, mid, Sanctity and Ace doing a lot of damage to the T1 tower mid, and this isn't Ember. This is not something you would really expect.
At least he's got the Blightstone to do it, but just back to 1, 2, 3. That's the most aggressive disengage I've ever seen, going underneath a tower. Going in onto Bob again, trying to catch him out.
Nice shackle.
Stun, but the...
They still have the silence. Change it up in a couple of seconds. Let's see if they're gonna dive, and that they will. Sanctity.
Thanks, guys.
He himself has also got quite the Ember Spirit that you have to fear. That is another person that we've seen, you know, gains through
Dire's
upper
middle
division.
tower is under attack.
Even though Lilgun was struggling, he was still the one to be looking incredibly strong on his Ember Spirit. We've even seen it so far throughout the round robin,
Dire
and
are
he's
scanning.
showing up here at the start of this second game.
I mean, he's not even wanting to back off. He's still got a quarter duration on that Arcane Rune. Why not keep the pressure up as Ace yoinks away at last hit on the tower in addition to the 3 that he got in the laning stage? He's got to be big.
Now, how do you feel about the Tiny's skill build? Because quite often I see a position 1 Tiny will go actually max tree just so for your farming potential, but
Maybe not so much against the Timber Sword.
yeah, that's
Maybe he was wanting to put a bit more pressure on. And well, speaking of Timber, he's going to get a bit of backup coming from these Mortimer's Kisses. It's going to be enough.
oh my Timber. At least gets a kill before he dies. Kishi. In the end, 4 times killing streak, 398 gold for your Pugna 4. Already level 6 for himself. Hasn't even used the tome, so we'll be able to hit 7 afterwards, and should have a pretty good timing in the 8th lens too.
Thanks a lot.
Pinned down.
Oh, nice shackle, Bob! His solo plays. Is it going to be a proc power shot off the mark? They're still flying on over with a Ravage drop, and they'll turn it. So Bob almost makes a cute play, but Marvel coming through just does it the old-fashioned way. Dropping the Ravage and moving him forward. They've got a little bit more aggression at the top side of the map. Enryu swinging on over. They're going to drop the Soulbind, but Ace, with the help of the Tiny's burst potential, is able to find the kill on Samael. Might still cost the Grimstroke his life. Here is the level 10 on the Timber. It's got a mass amount of burst potential, but Enryu has to get away now as the Radiant reinforcements are swinging over to the top side. Kish showing
Got the
up.
deep breath.
He's even got a little bit of backup of Marvel along with Sanctity just in case there's even some rotation from South built towards that tier 1 of the top side. Enryu. Very, very tanky. So they're just going to try and bring down an easier target in the Hoodwink.
Radiant's bottom tower
Just
is
continue to
under
keep
attack.
going. They have got so much magic damage right now on Lilgun, and not too many ways for South built to deal with it.
Samael. He's just going to get solo brought down from Sanctity. The max out Slight with the Orb of Corrosion. It's a lot of physical damage here, and I mean, Enryu's gonna have to hope that he can kill off the creep wave to get them out of the tower aggressive, but it's gonna cost him his life nonetheless. That's 5 deaths already for your Timber.
And that's just going to keep continuing, right? Because it's kind of like a Timbersaw being caught with Chakra Mount, and then you use the Phantom's Embrace on it, so you're just, draining your mana. You can't hit it to get away. Partner combination together with it, you just decrepify him. You can't get that Phantom's Embrace off, you can't run away, and then you've just got the rest of your team to be able to follow up and deal a ton of magic damage.
I'm not opposed to taking the.
Well, one person we haven't really spoken about too much recently, maybe it's because of the factor that no one's actually been fighting around him, is the Monkey King, who's top of the net worth, and I believe that is actually Battle Fury completed, and what a timing it is. Power Treads, Wand, Orb of Venom as well, so definitely not the naked Battle Fury.
You can't fault how Abat farms. He's always going to get a good amount of farm in the laning stage, get those early timings on those key efficiency items coming through, and you just have to take a look at net worth graph to see that. He hasn't been involved in all of these kills, but even with that, the kill score relatively even, net worth slightly in Lilgun's favor, but it's going to start ticking towards South.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
They are kind of setting up on Enryu. Marvel TP'd in. He's got Ravage, but no extra backup at the moment. They definitely were needing a little bit more damage.
Enryu's going in super deep here. I feel like I like this. Zenki needs to continue playing with Enryu, not just because, giving him that extra tree for that bit of extra damage with the Whirling Death and the Timber Chains. We haven't seen it yet, I don't think. But you need someone with you to be able to deal with that Phantom's Embrace combo. And I don't feel like Zenki's going to be doing all that much else with any of these other heroes.
Bot lane, Bob. He's got a DD. They're going to get the break as well. This is a way. Oh, commits the Ravage. Okay, well, Radiant, they're coming on over. Blink forward, 1, 2, 3. They've got the burst potential. Do they actually one up? And Ryu will fall to the Phantom's Embrace. Zenki as well is going to get caught out. The slight from Sanctity nets himself an unstoppable streak. And they're not done. They're making a really fast-paced maneuver after that.
Radiant's bottom tower.
They're going in further, trying to catch out this farming Monkey King. He's going to get away in time, so good awareness coming through from him. I think, they just walked up under a ward as well. That kind of helps, but it's good that they were able to get the Tidehunter, force out the Ravage. Bit of an unforced error there, I suppose. But again, Timbersaw caught out with the Decrepify combination, with the Phantom's Embrace, just brings him down. Zenki wasn't quite in position, but in that situation, it's fine, because at least you got the Tide trade for it. Well,
he's got some Mortimer Kisses raining on in, but that Ink Swell damage from Ace is maxed out already. So they'll trade the lives of the position ones. Ace, Cookie, a little bit too late. I'm still going to push on forward here. Ravage on cooldown from Marvel, so they're going to have this big ultimate at the moment here. Maybe Southport recognizing that without the Ravage, they can continue to push on aggressively. They do have to be careful, because Sanctity has been freely using all these abilities. They just haven't got an answer right now to the Ember. And speaking about Sanctity, he's going to try and catch Zenki on the backline. Bushwhack gives him some space here, so they're able to retreat away. I say that. Sanctity is just balls to the wall.
He used the wind run for that as well, so he might be in a little bit of trouble here. Uses the second one. Not going to be able to get that Slide of Fist Searing Chains combo off in time. It's going to reveal them into a couple of stacks that they're going to be able to take for themselves. And yeah, I mean, Lilgun, they have no reason to leave the enemy side of the map. Just continue taking away the farm. I think we finally did see, by the way, there was an Acorn shot Timber Chain that happened in that fight. And, turns out when you pick the tree strat, Gaben awards you. Right now, holding on to the Ironwood tree is Enryu.
Well, he's going to get targeted on the Snapfire. Now, look at that, Enryu just gets shunked down. Only about a quarter health left after the combo. Top lane, 1, 2, 3. It's a solo for Bob, but he's going to have to try and get away soon enough before Lilgun are able to connect. There's 2 TPs. The rest of the team are trying to connect through the river. Bob, there's nowhere to run. There's nowhere to hide. They've got the catch and they bring him down. Sanctity being rewarded for that kill. He's wicked sick right now.
It gets them away from Abarth though, you know, like, you just got a kill, but you had the trade, and Abarth was farming the entire time. This bottom tier 2 tower nearly going down already, and he gets out. So, I think Southfield, they're doing a good job to make space for this Monkey King. Still, top 3 cores on the map are all theirs. I have to say though, Hishki, Grimstroke, they're looking pretty damn scary themselves.
Samael? Well, thought about dropping the kisses for the kill.
Oh no.
He's just gonna get ripped apart, and now they get Enryu too. This is Southeast Asian Dota. Just bloodbath, kind of brainlessly running at each other. Zenki? Oh, Stroke of Fate just shy. Gush is so annoying to catch with the Scurry, but the slide from afar. Sanctity is godlike on his Ember.
Yeah, I mean, other than a couple of small... It wasn't even a mistake, it was just a good play from Bob coming through to interrupt his TP, but since then, he just realizes, look, I'm the big man on campus right now, I'm going to be the one running it straight at you, and there's nothing you can do about it, because I got my boys behind me. It's clear that there's an all-in strategy coming through here from Lilgun. It's just, when is Abarth going to be looking to join? This tower looking pretty low. They do have the glyph though. Wonder if they're going to be able to pop it in time, which they do. They're in a position to defend though.
Backline Sanctity. Soulbinds the Timber and Snap fight together. They're finally going to drop the Wukong's command, but only one person is in control. And meanwhile, Lilgun can just run to the backline and deal with 2. Ravage solely dropped to try and deal with the Wind Ranger. She got the protection, the Wind run out fast enough. It's going to try and get on top of the Wukongs as well. But it finally expires with Southbuilt losing 3. They're going to lose a 4th as well. 1, 2, 3 can blink on the back. That is just another well-executed fight for the little raccoons.
At least the Pugner's dead, but you still got a lot of right-click damage coming through here, and that's probably the first bad movement that we've had from Abarth. You know, we forced the glyph out of them on the bottom side. You could have at least taken that tier 2 away, maybe try and take the outpost. I know it's a lot of time spent not farming, but he just came back to that fight, didn't get anything out of the map, walked away, and now he doesn't have TP again on cooldown for 20 seconds. He's going to see these TPs come through. At least it's nighttime, so he's going to be able to dodge out all of that aggression, but he didn't actually get anything in exchange.
I mean, Abarth's top of the net worth, but it just feels like the Wukongs isn't going to do a whole lot in these fights. Like, we saw Radiant were able to completely avoid that mass AoE. They're a bit split right now. Hoodwink will fall, Watermere kisses. There's no way to cancel this at the moment. Sanctity is not prioritizing the Snapfire. Instead, they just want to try and burst through Enryu's Timbersaw. He was up. Is there any stuns afterwards? There is in 1, 2, 3. The Avalanche a little bit too late. They should still have the magical damage to claim the kill. Enryu, you gotta get him. And they will. Beyond godlike on Sanctity. They even want the Snapfire. They can blink up with a higher gun. They don't even have to worry about the tier 1, tier 2, or tier 3 tower, but they can just push on forward and continue with the onslaught.
Bob at least is there alongside Abarth. They were able to take the tier 2 tower, and it's no racks lost just yet, so it's not horrible. And Abarth, he's nearly hitting up onto his level 18 as well. It's going to come at around the same time as that BKB timing, maybe with this creep wave. Yep, they're all coming out to him now, in addition to just a single clarity to make him fighting fit. So let's see what they're able to do on Southfield. This is their chance. This is their timing.
Okay, nice bait from Zenki. Straight on top of the tide. Ravage is up in 5 seconds. Radiant coming down. If Marble can get the Ravage off before he dies, and they might be able to turn. Nice Dual Scepter. Stops a lot of the damage coming through with the right clicks. The Soul binded up the Timber. There's no backup at the moment, and Ryu's really getting brought low. You see that Nether Ward, but here comes a bar. Is this position 1 going to be enough? Great use of the silence. I'll turn with the BKB pop the bar. He's got some protection in the magic immunity. He's getting kited at the moment without any stuns on his lineup. He can move in forward, drops the ultimate. Hishki, 4 staff. Can he get out of range of the monkeys? He cannot. Gonna be a double for himself. Even Bob swinging on forward. 1, 2, 3. Needs to try and blink to counter up, but the Boundless actually finds 1, 2, 3. But he'll be able to get a triple kill. Nice toss away, maybe into the blink. Samael, no. Just a little bit shy there of the Scatter Blast. But they do take a successful team fight on the side of Dire.
Oh man, just a standard 52 kill, 22-minute game. You know, this is what we love to see, and I mean, it shows. When you're going up against this kind of aggression, you either need to fully commit into trying to respond to it, which probably isn't a Monkey King's strength, or doing exactly what Abat is in just ignoring it entirely and just saying, look, you do everything that you can. I'm going to have faith in my boys that at least you're going to try and hold them off so that we don't lose any massive objectives. They haven't been Raxed yet. You know, they've lost to tier 3, but it's not a Rax. So Abat is going to use that time, in addition to that first actual team fight that he's had, to try and turn things around. Like, even with a godlike Sanctity, he's 12, 2, and 7. He's 5 levels behind this Monkey King.
Abat did get that streak as well, actually, on Sanctity. 732 gold. So
to finish up the S&Y, so even when he doesn't have that BKB popped, he's not going to be played quite as easily.
Zenki and Bob getting another pick off here on Heshki, protected with the Decrep. Bob's got his BKB. Now with the T2 tower, we see the reinforcements are coming through in case a larger team fight breaks out. Great use of the ultimate from Zenki. Gets a little bit of bounce back after the sharpshooter's used, so the Tide will not be able to pursue on for more. He's got the Bushwhack. It's still on cooldown. Cancel there is. And Ryu has a use. And Marvel here is in trouble here. They might even lose Ace's life as well if Abat wants to come on forward. Marvel tanking up through. It's going to try and turn it, getting Inkswell stunned. Cookie once again is Enryu. This time, we'll find the Tide Hunter with that Whirling Death.
Was feeling a little bit nervous with my prediction before, but even though the kill score doesn't say it,
Radiant's
it's feeling a lot stronger for South Built right now.
Abat is really farmed, my lord.
I mean, he's basically had 3/4 of the map just to himself. And that's the other downside, you know, if you're constantly grouping up as 5 to try and take kills and get objectives, you got to actually get the objectives, because your experience is going to suffer on Lilgun if you're not incredibly successful. I would say they've been successful, but just not quite enough. Now, with that Solar Crest, with the little Shredder, plus the damage coming through from this very farm Monkey King, it's only 25 minutes in, so Roche is still relatively weak, and they're going to be able to take him down nice and easily, with the Timber Sword tanking that up with the reactive armor.
Radiant.
Too late. Do they still want to fight? Smoke, Abat, Ravage, instantly committed. They'll burst down the first life of the Monkey King, but that is a big ultimate force now, and they're not going to have it for another team fight that's about to break out.
I don't know about that
ultimate.
ultimate.
Completely wasted. Now with the Mortal Kisses, Sanctity needs to get back to safety up with the higher gun. Marvel as well. He's got no backup. They're going to run him forward. Sanctity finds a kill of Enryu, but Abat still in fighting condition with the BKB. So it's a double for your Monkey King. Couple of ultimates used. Sanctity still pursuing on forward. Let's see how aggressive they want to go. Abat, Boundless, lines it up, gets a lot of damage. Kishki, one more right click, the range from Samael. It's a lot there to be able to claim the kill. It'll cost him his life at 1, 2, 3, blinking on aggressively. He's also going to get chased down from Bob's Wind Ranger, so we've got a bit of back and forth in that team fight. But it's South Build who come out ahead.
I mean, that was just a straight-up mistake from the Tiny. I don't know why you're diving solo into 4 heroes. Sure, you get the cleanup on a Snapfire, but is that worth your life? Probably not. So yeah, even with a, let's be honest, dreadful Wukong's command coming out, hitting absolutely nobody, they're able to clean that up. It's just the strength of all of this farm that Abat's been able to amass. 7k ahead of his next competitor. He's nearly finished up the Skadi, so that's going to be really effective. Just being able to get a couple of hits off, lock them inside that Wukong's when he gets a better one off. That's another advantage of having this Monkey King against the Pugna. Even if you're decrept, you can get that stun off.
Wait, Abat's committed really far. As long as they force the BKB.
Alright, he's good.
Thanks, guys. Thanks a lot.
Tower goes.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
That is now a 6-second duration of your BKB for the Monkey King, which you do have to keep in mind because Radiant with all this burst and Die don't have any save at all. I mean, trying to look to see through what they got. Yeah, there's nothing defensive that a bot would be protected itemization-wise. Actually, Greaves on Timber.
Nice for Timber. Yeah, that's real good. And you've already got BKBs on your main 2 cores as well. Sumail, he's kind of in a rough spot, although they're jumping in for the save.
His BKB's on cooldown, and Bart's gonna be careful. 1, 2, 3 is gonna fly on forward. The Greaves isn't gonna be enough. We're going to man committed. They need to Ravage, but it's still on cooldown. Life drains out of the AoE, and Monkey will fall. No buyback here. It's Radiant. They can push on more. Sanctity hunts down Zenki, and Ryu as well is in trouble. Ravage, it's just shy. Marvel, oh no. You think you're good, ah?
I love hearing Fearless's voice. Just every single time.
Such a good voice line. Up they go. Monkey, no buyback. It does feel...
Dire's middle barracks are under
It's going to be a little bit more difficult because they used that Ravage and didn't get a kill out of it. Imagine if they had it with this high ground.
But they don't have their Monkey for 50 seconds. And you've got a Pugner. Like, this is very capable siege. They even pop a super early glyph. I think they probably could have waited another couple of seconds just so that that creep wave was lift up a little longer.
And Ryu, nice shackle.
Nice shackle.
Again. Gets rid of all their objective taking potential in the Pugner. And there's the hold. They reset. Lilgun now, they've got to back off and deal with some of the lanes.
Dire are scanning.
And Bob just coming to the rescue again with some great lockdown. Again, we've said it before, they don't have a ton of reliable lockdown, but if you're able to hit these double band shackles, it doesn't matter. And he just realizes his role. Like, he's not going to be like a Wind Ranger like, hey guys, I'm going to get a ton of kills and I'm going to output a lot of damage. No, he needs the quickening charm. He needs to be in there on the front lines, being able to TP around the map with the boots of travel, have that Blick Dagger available as much as possible. Same sort of thing with the BKB and the Windrun.
Do you feel like Bob needs to go Aghanims next just to help with that mobility and getting in and about? Okay.
Yeah, completely. I mean, you can rely on this Monkey King to do your damage for you. He was caught out in that previous fight without the BKB, that's why he went down. So maybe just looking to address that a little bit. But he's so close to his level 25. He's got the Paladin sword, of course, in combination with the Sanjin Yasha. Might even get a solid kill here onto Marvel.
Yeah, Hishki coming over, chains Bob. BKB's gonna get popped. Marvel's actually gonna go back on him with the gold bop as well.
Oh, they got through the
Monkey. Now 1, 2, 3 is gonna try and look to punish here with the double toss up in the air as well, but the BKB's gonna get. Monkey will turn. Wukong's committed. They've glimmered up 1, 2, 3. Where's the detection coming through? He actually has to retreat away from a bar, but Sanctity doesn't want to give him an opportunity. The tree's not going to get brought down. Turns, dodges the Boundless, but a bar. He needs to get the Dooku stacks. We'll finally be able to, but 1, 2, 3's hunting. Tree Dance is back up. Oh, that was almost so costly. I mean, they still lose 3, but at least you've got your Monkey King. Is he going to go for this?
I mean, he's full HP.
A bar
away. They're still chasing.
He's like, give me those ancients. You can't farm nothing.
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
Just going all out onto the aggression as well is this Ember Spirit. He's still about 600 or so gold away from picking up his full Refresher Orb, but what a valuable item for an Ember Spirit who's already got the Aghanim Scepter, able to refresh all those charges on the Remnants, continuously dive in onto the back line, make sure the supports don't have a game at all. That's going to make this next Roche really important as well. You know, it's going to be second Roche, it's going to mean an Ag Shard as well. I mean, for the style of game that Sanctity is playing, Ag Shard is absolutely perfect for him.
Is there some consideration for the Tiny because he's position 1 and he's got the shard queued up too?
Tower is under attack.
Let's be real, I don't think 1, 2, 3 is going to win them this game. I think it's going to be on the back of Sanctity. He's doing a great job so far. Or, for the memes, you could just give it over to the Pugner so he can get the quintuple suck going on, you know?
Let's go, Quinta.
And you've got the Grimstroke as well, so
Wait, a
think
bar?
with all that sucking going on.
BKB, Wukongs, the team is so far away, and that is a lot committed now for a bar. He's gonna run out of the Wukongs as well. They could just turn with the BKB on cooldown. I believe he also brought out for the Scotty, so Bob needs help. Ravage gonna get dropped on 2. Bye-bye a bar. Bye-bye Bob. South built, they're unable to get there fast enough. They're still looking to try and close the fight with Enryu, but now Refresher Sanctity is gonna look to try and catch the supports. He's just standing on his ground, waiting for Samael to come out of the Glimmer Cape. It's a lot of damage nonetheless from the Timber with all the pure, but as long as they can leave him to last and deal with the rest of the team, they can close back and burst through the Timber. That is 5 down. They don't have buybacks, only 2 on the Hoodwink and your Snapfire.
And you've got a Pugna still alive. In previous engagement, Hishki was the one to go down. This time around, he's hit up onto his level 20. You don't have creeps in the base just yet, so maybe a little bit premature with that buyback there on Zenki. But, well, still going to be enough to force this defense coming through. Man, the positioning has been off a little bit. You know, like, you cannot 1v5 this game. I know you're very farm the butt, but there's a limit to it.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
Then your position 4 is even got an Octarine with the Quickening Charm. 3.3 second cooldown Nether Blast.
Dire's top barracks has fallen.
See how
4
fast.
second decrep with a 5 second duration.
Oh, very fun. 2 full sets. A barracks advantage here for Lilgun. A 5,000 net worth lead. And they're looking in prime position to be able to take this second game and take the series 2-0.
Pick off into Roche. That's how they want to play it. 30 seconds on the timer. They don't know that, but it's on the mid to longer end.
Well, Bob's going to get a pick off bot on the Grimstroke. Nice play from Bob. He's got that Nullify queued up as well, so it looks like the decrep is a bit of a nuisance here for Bob's potential. It's even going to help the Monkey King as well.
I know they're going a little bit into like the burst damage, so having the little shredder to be able to you know, give them that little bit of an armor buff is nice, but it's a little triggering to me that no one is seeming to put enough value into the Pugna Netherward. You know, you've got a little shredder, right? You can attack it 6 times with the use of that. So you only need 1 more regular attack to be able to quickly deal with it. And it feels like it's doing a lot against this Timbersaw in particular, who's constantly wanting to be able to spam out spells. Kind of the similar story to the Wind Ranger. And hell, even just having it alive nerfs your mana regen so much.
How do you also feel about a bard actually going for the 0 cooldown primal splurring?
I mean, he might need the additional Wukong's command ring just because of how his positioning has been a couple of times. Especially considering Roche is the next key objective, right?
Yeah.
You want to be able to just completely lock that off. And, well, he just bought a Satanic very recently, and his team is not near him at all.
Smoke pops a bar. Jump in. Tree everything. Well, that is your 5-man smoke, and you were saying that Lilgun were needing a pick off into Roche.
Or they could just go into Roche.
Well, I mean, bot's completely shoved in as well with a double catapult wave.
How greedy are you? A body's committed with a spring.
Oh, they stopped the tree. BKB, Ravage, can he get anything off? Meanwhile, San's going to come through a bar. Finally pops and now turns with a Satanic, but he's got no backup. He's going to try and TP out. The bonus armor is enough, but that is a lot forced here. BKB, Wukongs. It'll take you a while to Roche on Lilgun, but it doesn't matter knowing that all these impactful abilities and items for the Monkey King is not available now.
Tiny hits hard enough. You know, he's got the crit stick, he's got the Echo Saber, he's a Tiny, for God's sake, and they've even got the minus armor from the Gush. So
they're coming.
Should be able to take this. Oh, they're keen.
Keep in mind, Ravage was also used as well for that. Soulbind up. Abart's going to swing on forward. BKB down for 35 seconds. They're going to try and jump the supports in the back. Snapfire falling really low. They'll get a double cookie as well. And Ryu with all the damage from the Timbersaw. Refresher's going to get popped. Safety, great use of the slide as well. But they've already lost the Bard. No Monkey King for this fight. He doesn't have a buyback. Sanctity, he's just playing around too much with them. They don't have the ease execution of this lockdown. And the Ember is disrupting way too much in these fights.
This is actually pretty big. They just used the BKB as well on Bob. Sanctity went all the way back to base. He's got a Remnant right out front of the Roche pit. He can just come straight back in. Full health, full mana. And just finish taking out Roche. Why not? There's no Abart. You aren't really all that concerned considering you use basically every single ultimate on the Dire.
Sanctity just jumps one support. Jumps the next target he wants next. And Ryu. Timber Chain away. Still got Yules. Got Eternal Shroud as well. Dire coming on over, but they need to do something. Bob and Zenki with Blinking forward. Bob's going to try and bring down one. Will be able to do so successfully. He's got that Nullify just picked up as well, so the Decrep is not going to be able to protect them on Lilgun if they use it defensively. Bob, Blink, very nicely done. It's kiting them away from the Roche pit, but the base is taking a little bit of damage here from the creeps coming through. The main importance is that Monkey's up in 30 seconds. They've caught Enryu, toss up, tree volley. That's plenty. The crits from 1, 2, 3 and Tide. He doesn't have a buyback. He's actually down 110 seconds. The only person in this game with buyback is Sanctity's Ember.
Yeah, and he might not even need it. Well, you're probably going to give it over to one of the squishier cores because I feel like the Axe Shard, that's what he's going to be eyeing on. He's already picked it up. He's going to have that extra little bit of DPS. Aegis claimed. Permanent tree now on the Tiny. Feels like too much damage, even for a farmed Monkey King with the rest of his team to handle, let alone when he's been picked off over and over again, like all of these team fights.
He's not enabled, it feels like. Like, you have no stuns. How's he supposed to hit anyone? And he didn't even go, like...
I mean, but he hasn't played with his team, you know?
He hasn't,
like,
but... Hishki?
Oh,
get the
nice
double shackle. A Bard does commit for this. Has to wait for the decrep. Hishki uses it again because of the low cooldown.
Does he?
And that's BKB on cooldown. Marvel's got Ravage. Bard's outside the base, clips on 2, has to drop the ultimate here, but you need the boys to really get the usage out of the Wukong till everything's forced and nothing is acquired. But, I mean, now it's time to get back to the base. You've just used a lot for naught.
Yeah, and the only question really right now for Lilgun is, well, do we go straight for tier 4s, considering they've got no cooldowns, or do we take the slower route, try and get the mega creeps?
Bob, Shackle, Boundless,
another good
starting
shackle.
Up the Ember, Glimmer, Force, Sanctity. He's going to get back to safety. They'll try and play around with the Nullify. Great dodge of the Sharpshooter. He's so chaotic right now with the Remnants that just can't control him in place. Apart. He's trying to man-fight with the Satanic. A lot of life coming back thanks to the Boundless Strike as well. But the Jinko, the Storm's going to be there. They actually use the aggressive Decrep to kite through a bar. A buyback's going to come through from Bob at 1, 2, 3 after the respawn, the blink on forward. They'll lose a bar. He doesn't have a buyback. And Enryu's caught away from the rest of the team as well. It's all up to Bob right now. Great use of the chain back to safety of the tree volley. You can't escape from the trees. They'll find him. No buybacks on 3. Lilgun. Looks like they should be able to take this series here 2-0. And Southfield, they're going to continue to fall further and further down in the round robin. They haven't won a map yet.
Oh boy. Let's count the kills here. 92 kills in a 40-minute game. I mean, that's a high level of entertainment. And, well, Sanctity, he was part of 44 of them. I can't recall too much of a better Ember Spirit game than what he showed there. But to be fair as well, it kind of felt like Southfield played themselves out of that game. You know, they were all back foot because they were fighting into a 4v5 situation. And, you know, eventually when a Bart joins, you got to get that 5v5 impact. But he was just like, all right, guys, thanks you 4. I'll take it from here. But nope, wasn't meant to be the case. When you just commit everything, you don't have the follow-up. It felt like every single time Abart and Bob were at a team fight, they actually did pretty decently, but it just almost never happened.
Yeah. Sanctity went 24-2. My God. Oh, like, we were saying about it in that game, but Sanctity's Ember has just been such a consistent threat and hasn't even been like just consistent at a decent level. It's been consistent at having multiple high streaks and such high impact in games. Like there's just another level of consistency that he has on the Ember. And Lilgun, you see their team fight prowess. I mean, it just feels like there are a couple misplays, like you were saying, South Built never really taking fights with everyone together, and it felt like it really cost them in the end. And they're going to continue to drop down. I mean, that is what, 0-12. They have not won a map, and their next opponent is going to be Motivate, which is tomorrow. So they are potentially not going to win a map heading into the playoffs. You do have to keep in mind that all the 8 teams will be in the playoffs. The top 4 upper, the bottom 5, the bottom 4, I should say, will be in the lower bracket. So at least they're going to be able to move on. But yeah, with that being said, we are going to see more of Lilgun. So we'll see if their series win with their 2-0 momentum is going to be enough to be able to take it up against OB Neon, which is definitely going to be another class of a opponent here. But you know, it'll be exciting to watch nonetheless. If this series was a little bit of a teaser for what we're going to get next with Lilgun versus Neon, then I am incredibly excited, and everyone home should be as well. So we'll send it to about a 20-minute break, and then our second series will be up soon.